starting. So just like my other video, I'll preface like I'm gonna do the same format as last time, as in I'll start with my interviews with my sisters, and then I will do my story and then my reflection. So the interviews with my sisters is there. I'm doing emerging, which is like early 20s and stuff. 20s anyways. They're like 23. They say it. So that's like my story will be in internship is my plan, because that's like the same age that they are. And yes, here are the interviews. Okay, this is my sister Emily. How old are you?
23.
Okay. What are some events that influenced who you are now?
I would say the big things that stick out are my general undergrad years of college. I just learned a lot about myself and other people, and my worldview was very much shaped by it. And it's also, my faith is a very important piece to me, and so I really took that on as my own in college. And then I got married this past November, and so that's also just been a huge event that shaped how I live and who I am today.
Mm-hmm. What is some music that you like?
I've always had a soft spot for the 90s grunge and into the early 2000s, like pop punk genres. Yeah, they've just always been one of my favorites.
What do you feel when you experience this music?
I think I feel nostalgia, and like a sense of humor or entertainment, because I did listen to it when I was a teenager, and even though it wasn't necessarily like new at the time, like it had been around for a while, it was just, I don't know, it was just fun and kind of angsty in a freeing way, I guess, and I appreciated that could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What role has music played in your life?
Well, when I was in elementary school and through high school, I was in band and played piano, and so I've always had appreciation for those that can play music and music theory, because it's not necessarily easy. And then as I've gotten older, like into college and post-college, it's more just been a source of comfort and enjoyment, finding new bands or artists to listen to and sharing them. And it's very much something you can bond with people over. Like, I don't know if you ever would run across a person who just says they don't like music at all. Like, it's a very common human experience to enjoy it. So,
what do you find to be the most rewarding aspect of aging? What is the most difficult?
rewarding? I'm not old.
No, but that's just a question.
I guess, like, coming into adulthood after being a teenager, you're able to use like higher level thinking, critical thinking, but then you at least have a few years of life experience once you are into early adulthood that you don't have as a teenager. So I think it allows you to have a little bit more like humility and understanding than maybe you do as a teenager. So early 20s was hard because there's a lot of transitions, and even the last year, but I've heard the second half of your 20s are better. And mine have already, I feel like, gotten better, and I feel a lot more stabilized and a little bit like I know what I'm doing instead of never knowing what I'm doing. So rewarding was like just the wisdom and humility, I think. Not that I'm that wise, like, not old enough, but challenging is just there's a lot of transitions, and with seeing and understanding more aspects of life, there's also a heaviness with it, and so that can be challenging. Just even having more responsibility, the more you have, the harder it can be.
What, if any, life lessons would you like to pass down to?
I mean, since my faith is so big to me, I think it's just faith and family are so important, and being able to genuinely give of yourself to others while also taking care of yourself is so important. I think we're in a world where there's a lot of self-centeredness, but at the same time, people don't take care of themselves and like constantly pour out. But I don't know if it's always for the right reasons or coming from a place of authenticity. And so I just would want to pass on, find what's most important to you and true to you. Learn to live out of that. And then from there, you can love others really, really well.
And then another thing that I had is, since you're a therapist now, a counselor, do you think, like, learning about, like, I don't know, like, that being your major and everything, like, kind of helped, like, understanding, or, like, do you think that changed your view on, I don't know, things? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you think that, like, almost helped transitions? Because, like, I don't know.
Oh, like, transitioning to adulthood hasn't been easier having a counseling background through the transition into the adulthood, especially like the last year and getting married and being done with school, has been helpful because I recognize the importance of taking care of myself. And also, sometimes self-care isn't buying yourself Starbucks on the way home from work. Like, self-care is actually like going home, doing your laundry, and going to bed rather than like scrolling and watching TV and telling yourself you're resting when it's not. Like, I very much believe in productive rest, and at least for my personality, sitting around watching TV is never actually the rest that I need. Sometimes, like, I'm able to rest by like doing the things I need, like cooking a healthier dinner or going to the gym, and like that in itself is rest in a different way and is actually more needed. So I guess that's an example of having that background has been helpful. Sometimes I still struggle of knowing like what I should be doing, and that's why it's good to have an outside person like a counselor or at least good friends. But yeah, it has been helpful.
Yeah. And then also I think I'm trying to think, like, and since you are a twin and now, like, at this point, I mean, now you guys are like kind of back together, but like it's very different. Like, has it been harder almost because like you're transitioning of being like, oh, I'm not with this like person all the time?
I mean,
or do you think it's been like really good? Like, I would assume it's like really good, but it has to be hard.
Yeah, I think it's been good having a very separate life from her, just because we are very different and have always been very independent from each other. And so it's just been good for our relationship to have space and to not live together, so then we can be intentional and choose to hang out with each other rather than like feel like we're forced and tired of each other.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's okay. Are you okay that I'm recording you?
Yes.
Okay, this is my sister Grace. How old are you?
23.
Emily did the same thing. She goes, I was gonna say, I think you're 23. Okay. Describe a memory of an event or experiences that influenced or shaped who you are now.
Also just like working in healthcare in general, like especially probably getting exposure at working at Avera Behavioral Health, like seeing how different people can be from you and like how severely they might need your help, like when it comes, especially since going into healthcare and stuff. I don't know if specific enough or
no, that's good.
But also just like working in the hospital and stuff, like just I feel like you get to see people when they're super vulnerable and it's interesting. It's just definitely how you approach like learning about caring for them and like that you have to help them with when they're in the hospital.
Tell me about some music that you like.
Music that I like, anything indie. I really like top artists probably are like Beach House, Peach Pit. What have I been listening to a lot lately? I don't know, I like a lot of everything, but indie's my main genre. I like indie rock a lot. I'm trying to, who else have I been listening to? Glass Animals is always a big one on my list. I don't.
Okay, is this music the same or different than other times in your life?
I would say I kind of grew to like indie in high school, and then it's really become a niche like in college. Like it was something that I started listening to a lot in college. I still other things to like mix it out, but I was very specific to. I feel like I really developed it as like my main taste like early in college.
What do you think of when you experience this music? Like a memory or a feeling or things like that?
Yeah, the specific albums I relate to for like different events. So like I'm always making playlists. So like I'm always like saving stuff on my Discover Weekly, and I organize my playlists by like semester or season. So like I have like a fall of 23, spring of 23, winter of 23, summer. Like I have like a rotation of playlists that I'm always making. And so a lot of times like those playlists or like even specific albums make me think back to specific points in time. Like there was one Beach House album that was always kind of like my comfort album that I listened to a lot when I was like either sad or like it was kind of just like a comfort music when like school was hard or like different things were happening throughout college, especially different types of artists like I associate with like obviously Phoebe Bridgers, and some of like Beach House stuff is like more sad, where like Weezer, I always listen to Weezer in the summer. I just started listening to Weezer a bunch because once it gets nice outside, it makes me think of the Weezer Black Album, like that type of stuff. Like I feel like I associate them more with like kind of times throughout the year, but then sometimes like songs will make me think of certain memories too.
What role has music played in your life?
I would say it's always had a really important role. It's always been like probably one of my biggest hobbies is just like listening to new stuff, organizing it, figuring out what I like. I was just like discovering new music too. And I love going to concerts and any sort of live music, so it's always, I would say, been a pretty big part. And then like I was in band all throughout high school and into college. So even just like some of the more classical stuff, like playing in the Wind Symphony or even like drumline for marching band, like it's always been a really big part, I would say.
What do you find the most rewarding aspect of aging? What is the most difficult?
Is this supposed to be related to music or just in general?
No, just in general.
Difficult part of aging? Having to do stupid adult stuff. Like, I am applying to get my freaking pharmacist license in South Dakota and West Virginia, and I'm going to easily spend almost $2,000 to do that. Like, I had to go get fingerprinting done at the police station, and then I had to, like, take it to the post office, and the post office in Rapid City sucks. I had to wait in line for, like, 40 minutes, and that, like, I've spent $700 just to apply for the licenses, and then I still have to buy the test, and then I still have to buy the license after I pass the test. It's, like, just doing stupid adult things with, like, like, taxes are gonna suck, like, I don't know. Like, just doing things that, like, are so lame, or, like, they keep talking to us about, like, financial advisors and, like, what to do once you start actually making money, and it's all, like, I don't, like, it's gross to me. Like, such adult things.
What's the most rewarding part of it?
I think just being independent and kind of becoming your own person, getting to, like, have your own life, like, I don't know, I'm, like, really excited to moving to West Virginia. Like, Trevor's gonna be moving with me, so it's gonna be super fun to, like, kind of create our own thing there.
What are some life lessons you would like to pass down to younger generations?
I'm not that old. I think it's really good to get lots of exposure to lots of different people and lots of different perspectives. Like, I feel like working in healthcare does that, but even, like, just, like, going to school, I don't know, like, you meet a lot of people. Like, I went to school in Brookings, and, like, you meet a lot of people, and you meet a lot of people from different places and get a lot of different perspectives. But then even moving, like, further out from that, like, I think it's just really important to kind of just, like, expand, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like, to be a well-rounded person, I feel like you need to have a lot of experiences with different people to kind of get some perspective. That helps. Sorry, finishing that thought, but I also think it helps with, like, not having, like, a closed mind. Like, I feel like if you're open to meeting other people and exploring new things, you can, like, have more of, like, a growth mindset and just, like, learn more about the world and why it works the way it does sometimes. Like, otherwise it sucks. That puts a little bit more of the human empathy into it.
With, like, so you started doing the pharmacies tech, like, when did you start that? Sophomore year of college? Freshman?
I started working as a pharmacy intern right after my freshman year of college.
Do you think that helps, like, the transition, or, like, helped, like, clarify, like, that's what you want to do, and, like, because you were exposed to that?
100%, because at the end of, like, I did obviously went into freshman years of pre-pharm, but I had absolutely no experience in the pharmacy. I don't think I'd even ever picked up a med for myself from the pharmacy. Like, so 100% yes, getting exposure to, like, what it is, what it's about. It not only made school easier, but it, like, solidified that it was what I wanted to do.
That's what you want to do. And then I asked Emily this.
Oh, I should throw in there too. I feel like music helped me, like, get through school a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it stress relief outlet.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bunch of, like, band friends who were also music nerds that we would, like, always be sending music to, or, like, sometimes, like, literally on, like, Friday nights, like, after going to a party or whatever, the bars, we'd all literally just show back up at Sam's apartment all drunk, so drunk, and then we would just sit in a circle and play different songs to each other. It was great. Either that or rock band, but both were good.
Like, not living with Emily moving away, like, do you think that helped, like, the transition of, like, finding yourself or whatever? Like,
I would say, yeah, because, like, growing up, we were always really compared to each other, which I feel like we did a pretty good job of differentiating ourselves from each other. Like, in high school, like, we both kind of had our own things and our different, like, friends, but I feel like going to colleges in different places made me have to become more independent than I wasn't as independent as I realized. That was good, and I feel like we both grew very differently, and I feel like we're very different from each other now, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay, now story time. So I feel like the interviews with my sisters and also doing it with my sisters just like help me. I don't know, just like they're both in very different places, so be like I could be in like I could either be married or I could, you know, kind of be doing what my sister's doing, and now she's going into a residency, which is like kind of like an internship in my mind. So I mean it's not, but kind of. So basically year 2028, month is December, so I'm probably 24 in the internship. I'm in the internship, and I get into the one at home. I decide to go home and do the one it's a private practice, and I decide to go and live at home, which seems really scary to me. It seems really scary because it's like, oh, like I've been doing my own thing, and now like I'll still be able to do my own thing at home, but it's like I don't know how this'll go. So anyways, I'm interning at this private practice, and I guess I technically don't really know how internship goes, but this is what I think it is. So anyways, private practice, of course, they go to all the things. They do sessions, they go to schools, they go to detention centers, they do nursing homes, they do one-on-one with kids and all that kind of thing. So I am going to a nursing home, and I had my fall of senior year, I had observed, and of course I went to a nursing home and I loved it, so of course I'm going to be going back to the same one. So I'm loading all of my stuff up, and I feel like, actually I don't know how long internship goes. I don't know if it goes into December, but it's probably towards the end, and I'm probably like feeling really good, really excited, like how things are going. But I feel like the whole at home situation is like where I'm like feeling like a little like this is my conflict at the time. I'm a little like I'm way used to it, and it's like feeling more normal and everything, but it's still like it's just something that like you don't really want to do once you're out of college, just go back home. But like it happens, and it's really, at the end of the day, not a bad thing, because saving a lot of money I'm saving. So I am now going to my session at the nursing home. I've got my guitar, of course. I'm all bundled up in my coat. It's cold in my car. I gotta bring my wagon with my drums and sticks and the like scarf thingies, Anyway, so I get there. It's like a little far from, it's not that far from the clinic. It's probably just like 10 minutes. Anyways, I get to the nursing home, and there's probably like 10 people there. So it's not like a huge nursing home, but it's not like small. So it's not like there's not like a lot of people coming. Anyways, so there's probably about 10 people in a circle. I am, setting up some chairs for the people, not in a wheelchair or anything. The session is probably at 1 o'clock, around right after lunch, 12:31. I get there a little early, set up, do all my things, and then people start rolling in. And now the session starts at 1 o'clock. I'm singing a little hello song, asking them how they're feeling, And then, of course, it's Christmas time, so let's sing a Christmas song. And I'm gonna give them some shakers with the Christmas song, get them moving. I feel like, I don't know what Christmas song I would sing with shakers, though. And then probably just, like, another song about, I don't know, another song where they can, like, pass their they get instruments, they can pass them next to them, so they're reaching, saying hi to their neighbor. And being like, hey, try this one out, you know, they're trying new things, you know. Then I figured, oh, let's sing a song that they know. Of course I know a Christmas song, but you know, like another one where they know and they can sing along and dance, and they can like get their scarves or whatever and like dance with it. Yes, that's how I kind of imagine like what it would be like. I don't really know. Session's probably about 45 minutes long. There'll be way more things. I just don't know them. But I feel like in that moment I will feel good. I'll feel like, oh, like I know how to do this now. I know how to play my guitar. I know how to facilitate doing these things, and I think it'll feel really good. Yes, I feel like that's all I have. I'll be like in this state of just like a little bit excitement, a lot of excitement because I'll be almost done, but like also like content because it's like yes, I'm doing this now and it's amazing and great. So yeah, I feel like also just like the stage of my life that I'll be in is I'll be living at home, probably single. Of course, I'm always single. I don't even know. Yes, and I'll feel like that I'm coming to terms with like where I'm at and like starting to feel good about everything and excited, and I'll be applying for jobs and hopefully moving somewhere just for a little bit, just for fun, to get more experiences. I think is really good. Yeah. Yes. Now I'm doing the reflection, and I feel like I don't know. I wasn't like really for sure what I should like do per se. But I feel like one thing that I could say would be like different is if I was just in a different country. Was like in Germany. I feel like just it would just be different. Like I think for the most part, you know, like music therapy, like we're all kind of doing the same things and like wanting the same goals and everything, but I feel like also it would just be different. Like I feel like the way I'm sure that like sessions are facilitated and how we just like go about things would be different, because it's a different culture. Like it's not so much loving hugs and kisses, you know what I mean, like Midwestern, so nice, so polite. Why I say Germany is because I've been there twice. I took German all throughout high school. We hosted many German students, and we know some family, like we know a family over there that we're besties with or whatever. So I feel like of just like what I know and what I've been, I just think that I just feel like that they would go about it in a different way, like very more like this is what we're trying to do and this is like, do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not doing this right, but anyways, like I feel like also just like my musicianship would be different. Like I feel like I would be so classically trained and then also have to have the other skills, but I feel like yeah, and their school is also a lot more serious, so I feel like I would maybe feel not necessarily more prepared, but I feel like I would have a lot of the book smarts. And yeah, yes, I just feel like I would be in a completely different situation. And like if I went to a nursing home in Germany, I just think I would be playing different music. I would be speaking a different language. I would have to speak German because typically the older people in Germany, they don't speak English. some of those people were like East German, so some of them know Russian. You know what I mean? And that's like, some of them had a very hard growing up, and I feel like you would have to take that into consideration a lot with working with those older people. And just like, I don't know, I think that would be so cool, getting to know some of those people and like understanding their experiences, and it was just like a very harder lifestyle, and I feel like you would have to go about things differently, and you couldn't be so like fun and silly-nilly a little bit. So yes, I don't really know. But yeah, I think it'd be really, really crazy cool to go do that there. And I think that's like, if I like literally switched it, and I feel like that's kind of how it would be.